a blanket of fog. Man on the exit ramp with a backpack and a dog. All of us are under heavenly command, paying forward best you can. I could be replaced in a New York minute. Don't worry for my body, I'm not in it. Just remember, I'm your biggest fan. You pay it forward best you can. Pay it forward best you can. Pay it forward best you can. Throw a Hail Mary right into the sand. Pay it forward best you can. Well, thank you very kindly. It's going to be a hell of a show. There's no sense rushing it here. This is, like I said, the whole slew of these songs you're going to be hearing first are from the new record. The record's called I Thought I Was Fine. Comes out October 15th. And produced by me and our drummer friend, Jonathan Bright, back there. Jonathan, Lisa, and me were the only ones on the record. It's an all-accordion record, which I hope you'll feel blessed when you listen to it. This is a song I wrote. This is the title song off the record, I Thought I Was Fine. It was written the morning after a great gig when I got home and opened up my email and found out it wasn't as great a gig as I thought it was. And here it is. I thought I was fine. I didn't know the choices were mine. I could have said no. Now I'm out driving with no peace of mind. People knew better. I thought I was fine. I changed all my strings. They were all clear and bright. Stars were out shining. It was a beautiful night. I thought I could see. Didn't know I was blind. I was laughing last night. I thought I was fine. Fish gotta fly, birds gotta swim. Lord had to die. I'll never let him. My mama loves me. I got some good friends. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. I've known destruction, women and wine. Some folks applauded last night. They thought I was fine. Grandfather died in the house that he built. He never knew pleasure, he never knew guilt. He never touched liquor, never touched wine. I never did like him, he thought he was fine. Fish gotta fly, birds gotta swim. The Lord had to die, I'll never be here. You can tie one on, get a nice buzz. Tomorrow is dawning, it always does. I'll carry the spear in the front of my mind. It'll happen again when I thought I was fine. 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 I thought I was fine. I was in a band called Government Cheese for years and years, and we had a song called A Little Bit of Sex. And it dealt with all the fears and anxieties and frustrations and recriminations and disease scares and pregnancy scares and the futility and hopelessness of it all. And worst of all, absolute worst part of it all, is when you started developing feelings about the person that you were sleeping with, which is, you know, a no-no. So I'm 58 now, and I decided to update things. This is sex from the perspective of a 58-year-old man with bladder cancer. It's called A Little Bit of Sex Part 2. 1, 2, 3, 4! Nobody's getting laid tonight. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. Free from this insanity, made it to the other side, and Thank you. This is a song, it's a true story. At least the first part of it is. I read about it in a magazine. It's not a personal true story. Thank God this never happened to me. But it is a story that really happened.
Feel-good song of the summer.
This is the feel-good song of the summer, that's right. It's called Call Me Gary. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mom was happy for a father figure in my life when I was 6 years old. And every Friday night, Father Lawrence would come over to the house for dinner, and then he'd take me to the movies and explain how God loves me. And said, call me Gary. One day he took me out in his old jalopy to get ice cream, and he bought me a vanilla cone. And then he just started driving around town, and the next thing I knew, I was frozen stiff, staring at the dirt spots on the windshield, holding up my cone as the ice cream melted and ran down my arm. And then every Sunday he'd be up there on that lectern swinging that ball of incense around, and we stood when he read the Gospels and he absolved us of our sins. And later on he'd tell Ma he'd drive me home and we'd go out for ice cream. And I was remembering when I was 14 years old, and I was standing with my two buddies, and we bonded over what we talked about. And we saw Father Lawrence across the room, bent down at his knees, face to face with a first grader, hands on the little boy's shoulders, a big smile on his face, saying, call me Gary. I'm 37 now, I'm married, I love her, but I don't like intimacy, I don't like being touched. And if there's a heaven I don't believe in anymore, and Father Lawrence gets up to the gates, I wonder if St. Peter's gonna say, I understand, I can call you Gary. My wife says I'm a good person, so smile, goddammit, and I got an award for Salesman of the Year. But every now and then I'm back there in that old jalopy, and the ice cream's melting and running down my arm. Up in the morning, out on the job, work like the devil for my pay. While that lucky old son got nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Fuss with my woman, toil for my kids, sweat till I'm wrinkled and gray. While that lucky old son got nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Good Lord up above, won't you hear me crying? Tears all in my eyes. Send down that rain with your silver line. Lift me to paradise. Oh, show me the river. Take me across. Wash all my troubles away. While that lucky old son got nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. Well, thank you. That was a cover song from the record. Heard Ray Charles do it. I learned it from a Johnny Cash record. Thought nobody's ever rocked that one up before. Until now. And this right here is the other cover song on the record. It's a Cole Porter tune I learned from an Ella Fitzgerald record. It's called Miss Otis Regrets. Maestro.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. She is sorry to be delayed, but late last night on Lover's Lane she strayed. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. When she woke up to find her dream of love had gone, Madam, she went to the man who led her so far astray. And from under her velvet gown, she drew a gun and shot the bastard down. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. When the crowd came around and dragged her from the jail, Madam, they strung her to a willow along the way. And the moment before she died, thank you, she lifted up her lovely head and cried. Madam, Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch. Miss Otis regrets she's unable to lunch today. Madam, here's a song for all of us, and thank you. By the way, thank you for the tip in the tip bucket. We got a tip bucket right there. Lisa is going to be going around for it. And if you could be generous with your monies, tell you what, we're trying to play music here, so don't throw nickels and dimes and quarters and noisy change. Put in bills. They're much quieter and they won't disturb us so much. Are you having a nice time? All of y'all at the bar, are you having a nice time over there? Yeah, good, good. Okay, a song for all of us, like I said. This is called Job Hunting While Depressed. Job hunting while depressed. You don't get any rest. You don't hope for the best. Job hunting while depressed. Networking while you're blue. A tough ass thing to do. You get no interview. You got no revenue. Polishing my resume. Polishing my knife. Sniffling past the graveyard on the road to a better life. My suit's all clean and pressed. You got to be well dressed. He don't look too impressed. Job hunting while depressed. Hello sir, how you do? Sure nice meeting you. What a lovely ocean view. Whoop-de-friggin' do. Polishing my resume. Polish off this beer. Wondering why adulthood has to have so much to fear. I got nicotine and pills. A table full of bills. Losing all my skills. Eating General Mills. Polishing my resume. Polishing my knob. I ain't asking for the world here. I just need a goddamn job. Job hunting while depressed. You don't get any rest. You don't hope for the best. You don't feel very blessed. Go on and beat your breast. Get it off your chest. Be all means, be my guest. Job hunting while depressed. Yeah. All righty. In 1955, in Memphis, Tennessee, there lived a 15-year-old girl with jet black hair named Louise, but shortened it to Lou. Everybody called her Lou. And Lou didn't follow music. That's important. Remember that. And one afternoon, she and her best girlfriend were parked outside the malt shop, eating their burgers and drinking their milkshakes. And Lou was in the passenger seat and her window was down and the parking space next to her was empty. And then all of a sudden this big Cadillac squealed into the spot, screeched to a halt, driven by some greasy, sleazy looking guy. And he had his window down as well. And he pointed at Lou with her jet black hair and said, "Hey, Blackie, I got what you need." And Lou gave him the finger, and the guy threw the Cadillac in reverse, squealed away, and screamed out of their lives. And Lou's girlfriend behind the wheel was appalled. She was scandalized. She was apoplectic over the fact that Lou had just given the finger to Elvis Presley. It's a true story. 5 years later, in 1960, my oldest brother, Wayman, was working in Memphis. He was 20 years older than me, and he was out of the house before I was ever even born. And he's working on the docks on the Mississippi between semesters, loading and unloading crates. And one day, he and his best buddy had the day off, and they was wondering what to do, and they'd always heard about how Elvis would come down to Graceland's front gates and he would sign autographs and pose for pictures and stuff like that. So they thought, let's go to Graceland. So they went to Graceland. And there was nothing going on out front, but he heard commotion from the back, so they walked all the way around the perimeter fence to get to where the backyard was. It was a tall fence, and they got on their tippy toes and looked over the top of this fence, and there was Elvis playing touch football with his buddies. And in what was not the coolest moment of my older brother Wayman's life, he and his buddy shimmied up and got over the wall and infiltrated the game and were allowed to play. My oldest brother Wayman played touch football with Elvis in 1960. That's a true story. 18 years later, in the chapel on the Air Force Base in Cuyahoga, Michigan, Lou became Wayman's third wife, and this is their song. I wish I'd known you better. You were born too soon. I was wearing diapers when you were on your honeymoon. You went off in the Air Force, came home when you could. I wish I'd known you better, but what I knew was good. You played football with Elvis, took Susie for your wife, got stationed up in Billings and led a military life. You smoked more Camel cigarettes than anybody should. I wish I'd known you better, but what I knew was good. Then there came Juanita. She wasn't good for you. Then you got it right at last when you hooked up with Lou. She went 6 months before you. We all knew soon you would. I wish I'd known her better. What I knew was good. There comes a time to say goodbye and send you on your way. Turn your body into ashes and get on with our day. To have one conversation now, I sorely wish we could. I wish I'd known you better, but what I knew was good. What I knew was good. What I knew was good. All right, thank you. Thank you. Song from my brother Wayman. I gotta wet my whistle. Everybody, social drink. Everybody, lift them up. Here's to survival. Here's to perseverance. And by the way,
Free Britney.
I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix. Angel-headed hipsters burning for that ancient heavenly connection to the starry dynamo and the machinery of night. who poverty and tatters and hollow-eyed and high sat up smoking in the supernatural darkness of cold water flats, floating across the tops of buildings, contemplating jazz, who bared their brains to heaven underneath the L and saw Mohammedan angels stumbling across tenement roofs illuminated, who passed through universities with radiant, cool eyes, hallucinating Arkansas and Blake-like tragedy among the scholars of war. Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Yeah! Across the sea, trying to win Jamaica man. I wanna be her man. Blue and white, oh baby, we gotta go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Blue and white, oh baby, we gotta go now. All right, baby. I'll work above. It won't be long till she's slipping it off. I'll take her in my arms again. Tell her that I'll never lay her again. A little white, oh baby, instead of waiting alone. Yeah, 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 yeah. Little white, oh baby, we gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go now. We gotta go now. We gotta go now. Let's go!
There you go.
Vicky Smith lived up the street from me. Vicky Smith lived up the street from me. Vicky Smith was 10 years older than me. I was 6 years old, she was 16. I was 6 years old, she was 16. Vicky Smith was the first pair of hot pants I'd ever seen. Her little brother Lane Allen was somebody I played Hot Wheels with. Her little brother Lane Allen was somebody I played Hot Wheels with. There was hot pants and Hot Wheels up the street with Lane Allen and Vicky Smith. store. Vicky Smith smoked cigarettes and swore. All her dates just honked the horn, never came to the door. Their daddy converted the garage into a den. Their daddy converted the garage into a den. In that den, I saw Secretary and Win. Vicky Smith married young. Vicky Smith heard that horn honk and off she run. Got D-I-V-O-R-C-E, a J-O-B and a baby son, praise God. Thank you very much. We got just a few more for you. Can you hang out for a few more? Can you stand it? Okay, 3 of you can stand it. The rest of you are non-committal about the whole situation. All right, we got a dozen plus that time. My self-esteem has just risen 3 points. Did you know when you go to doctors like I go to, they have a self-esteem tester that's like a blood pressure cuff. They roll it around you and then they squeeze this little ball and it determines how much health, self-esteem you have. And I have to take pills for it. I do. I know you don't believe me. They do the test on my penis, yes. I get my penis tested once a week for 3 weeks in a row, every 6 months.
How's its self-esteem going?
My penis's self-esteem is low. My penis needs therapy. I'm thinking of turning gay. I'm taking an online course, Gay in 30 Days. And I'm not fully there yet with the gay thing, but some of your guys are looking better to me than you were a couple of weeks ago when I started the course. So let's talk later, fellas. I'll scope you out. It's been a nice day. We all went swimming, me and my sweetheart and our boy. It's been a nice day. We had a good time. The sun was shining and life was joy. It was at a friend's house. We got invited. We can't afford a swimming pool ourselves. Our beds are unmade. Our bills are half paid. But we got beans up on the shelf. My hair is going. I I got a shaky sense of self-esteem. But in that water, that smile on my boy's face, for a moment life was not a bad dream. It's been a nice day, we all went swimming. I love you, Daddy. He said that twice. Nothing got broken, no one got sunburned. I never freaked out, it was nice. I worry often, I live in terror of what life might have in store. I've got this vision working at MAPCO, making change when I'm 64. I'll be an old man, I'll have had a good time. I'll have, God willing, my boy and my girl. And when I die, go to God's house and take me from this world. It's been a nice day, we all went swimming, me and my sweetheart and our boy. All right. Now the whole band can take a beer break. Are you hip to how we end this? I do it all alone by myself until the very last of it. And these guys can tell you when it's time to get
You know
back
the
up
four
and get
chords,
ready.
don't you? I'll cue you when we jump in. We got some time. Oh, what?
I wrote this song in a bar on cash register ribbon that the bartender was providing for me. 11 feet 4 inches of cash register ribbon, by God. Alpha male and the canine mystery blood came to town with death cab for cutie. I stayed home with my wife and my child and a 6-pack of beer. I pondered that name for 15 minutes after I saw the poster stapled to a phone pole on the corner of Grand and 21st. That was a couple of years ago. I was already in my 40s then, so I didn't go out on a whim just to see a band named Alpha Male and the Canine Mystery Blood. Just because I liked the name, just as if I'm 25 and every day's a stone summer day. My band was always gigging then, REM was still kicking then. I drove that Ford Granada Mom and Dad gave to me after they got him a Ford LTD, and there was music on MTV. I smoked my manager's pot, I got laid quite a lot by my standards. Planes hadn't flown into towers yet. We hadn't had a loose cannon president yet. We didn't have all this credit card debt hanging over the house like a cloud, ensuring there's not a lot of drugging allowed. The body can't take it, the wallet can't hang. I'm singing all the songs I've sang for years, and when it's a band gig, it's rocking. And when it's solo, the people talking while I'm singing make me depressed. You think I could take a hint? My time came and went. Yeah, there's many times I came and went, in a manner of speaking. My conscience is leaking. The world has changed and the good times are gone. We get to be the poor schmucks who greet the dawn of this new age of fear. Sleaze and masks on your face and making enemies where we shouldn't be making enemies. I love my boy, he's becoming a drummer. He got a drum kit from Santa. At this rate, by summer, he'll be keeping a beat in a world that needs a metronome shoved up its ass so hard I'll bet the bass voices will choir. Brothers will hug, the world will catch fire. I bet their name was Menstrual Blood, and the A&R guy said that's no good. You gotta change it to Mystery. Then we can target a broader-based goth dog lover market. I'm spitting my jeans in an ocean that's rising, clinging to Jesus with some compromising of how it was handed to me from my mom and my daddy, the preacher, who watched all that TV in a cream recliner, frowning through life like a stone hardliner. You could not faze the man. He knew Jesus died for his sins and was raised from the dead, and I've always wondered, why can't he stay dead? It doesn't change a single good thing he said. It was all St. Paul's trip, the resurrection. Why can't he just be a nice Jewish guy who was super clued in and showed us the way to salvation from sin? And that doesn't mean if you're not quote unquote saved, you fry like a slice of country ham in your grave. It's a great big world. Life is a joke. Arabs and Christians, Pepsi and Coke, and people so gorgeous it causes them pain, and nobody gives any sympathy for something like that. You suffer in silence or form a band with a name that appeals to goth dog lovers everywhere on a poster that's seen by a 43-year-old bastard walking to work at 8:15, 11 an hour for all that he does. You can't be a has-been when you never was, going all day long without eating, till all of my nerve endings are seriously overheating, and my legs are getting wobbly walking down the stairs to smoke another cig in the cold fresh air, wondering why I do the things I do, and I do them every day, and it can't turn out good living this way. But live this life I must, and in some fuzzy God I'll trust. I'll kiss my wife, I'll kiss my son, and maybe someday I'll go for a run. Maybe someday a song will stick. I'll walk around like I got a big boat. Maybe someday my boy'll drum in a hippie jam band that plays out some. He'll take after daddy and get in a van, go to places only young people can, doing things only young people do, banging those skins at Bonnaroo, rocking the dreadheads, dancing in the mud before alpha male and the canine mystery blood. God go with him. Amen. then it goes. Does that 3 times, and then we go right back into A to D everywhere.
No, Betty.
No,
Good,
Betty.
Betty?
No, Betty. Let's SU Betty tonight. If we get an encore, we'll do
Okay,
Betty.
so whip comes down.
When the whip comes down. This is for Charlie. Mom and Papa told me I'd be crazy to stay. I was a gay in New York, I was a fag in LA. So I saved my money and I took a train. Wherever they go, they treat me the same. When the whip comes down, when the whip comes down, when the whip comes down, when the shit hits the fan, I'll be sitting on the can. When the whip comes down, some call me garbage, I'll be sweeping up the street. I never roll, I never cheat. But these never truckers, they turn into trash. Got so much money, I spend it so fast. When the whip comes down, when the whip comes down, when the whip comes down, shit in the fan, I'll be sitting on the can. When the whip comes down, all right. Rockefeller, he won't give me no loan. Mr. Brown, he don't want me back home. Now I love my mama, she loves her son. It's so damn hard to get back where we started from. When the whip comes down, when the whip comes down, when the whip comes down, when the whip comes down. When the whip comes down, Jonathan Bright, Nathan Womack, Lisa Oliver Gray. We are the Tommy Womack crime family. Thank you so much for listening. God bless. Thank you very kindly. Thank you very much. I have a merch suitcase up there on the counter, and take what you want and pay what you can. You know what I'm saying? And you people watching on telly, you can tip. So, every little bit helps. All right, thank you.